trip to New Zealand is one of those amazing experiences that people spend years dreaming about. On a map, New Zealand looks like a pretty small island, but it's really quite large. It's almost the size of California. And when you take a once-in-a-lifetime trip like this, you're going to want to see everything. People plan these epic road trips across New Zealand where they're traveling for a month or two, but never staying in more than one place for like a night. Because you want to go everywhere, from Stewart Island at the very tip of the South Island, all the way to the fabulous beaches on the other side of Auckland, way up at the other end of the North Island. It's a lot of ground to cover. And on an epic trip like this, of course, you want to take a sketchbook and record your adventures. But the question is, how do you really find the time to do that, especially when you're on the move so much and maybe traveling with a group? So I'm going to tell you what I did. I drew a lot of thumbnails. I'm Amy Stewart. I'm a writer, an artist, an urban sketcher, and a very enthusiastic traveler. I took my sketchbook to New Zealand recently, and I documented my journey with all kinds of paintings and sketches. And when I was short on time, I did these thumbnails. You remember thumbnails, don't you? If you ever took a painting class, you probably learned to make small thumbnails first, just to work out your design and get the values right, the lights and the darks. But thumbnails aren't just for planning out a big painting. They're also a great way to very quickly record a moment on your journey. And when I say quick, I mean really quick, like a minute or two, and then you move on. Maybe you even color them later in the car or at a cafe or back at your hotel. I think thumbnails can be a really wonderful way to tell the story of your day. Think of them like comic book panels or illustrations in a graphic novel. You can write notes or captions, as much or little as you like. You can add some fancy lettering or even some not so fancy lettering. You can glue in some collage elements like stickers or ticket stubs or bits of maps or something you tear out of a travel brochure. These are really quick, unfussy little drawings that you can do without slowing down the group you're traveling with. When you stop at a scenic outlook and everyone else is snapping photos, you have time to make a quick thumbnail. When you're drinking your morning coffee, another thumbnail. Strolling through the conservatory at the botanical garden, another thumbnail. These little drawings, they might not look like much individually, but when you fill a sketchbook with them, it's magical because you've captured your experience in a way that's much more creative and personal than a bunch of photos you took on your phone that you're never going to look at later. So this approach is great for beginners. But if you're a more experienced artist, I think this is going to remind you of what you loved about doing thumbnails in the first place. So I'm going to show you some light, portable sketching supplies and give you ideas for what and when to sketch. You are welcome to work from my photos, or you can use your own travel photos, or even better, go out and make some own thumbnails around your neighborhood. It's all great practice for your next big adventure. So let's go.